everyone. Rich Sassman here with Century 21 Affiliated. I'm Rich Sassman. This is Scott Swinford with Hancock Mortgage.
Hey, everybody.
Wow, what a week.
It's been interesting.
Notice we are still all smiles here. That's because we are open for business. We're still doing pre-approvals. We're still getting loans closed, and homes are still selling. So as of right now, the market conditions haven't changed as of right now. If things do change, we will always go live and let you guys know. But as of right now, with all this corona being scared and everything like that, with what the government's doing, shutting down schools and potentially whatever else may come, as of right now, the housing market hasn't changed. And that leads me to the first misconception that I want to throw out there. People are saying, wow, rates are 0%. Whoa, we can get a really cheap loan now. Scott.
Well, you can if you're a bank.
If you're a bank.
Yeah, because that 0 to 0.25% that the Federal Reserve was talking about yesterday, or the President Trump was speaking of yesterday during his press conference, is really the overnight lending rate. And what that is it's for banks lending to banks. So if you're looking for a one-day mortgage loan, you might be able to get it at 0. If you're looking for a mortgage loan for a week, probably not. If you're at the 15, 20, or 25 year, it's not going to happen. What that is, and what happened yesterday, essentially, if you watched it or you've seen it on the news, it'd be hard to not see it if you've been watching the news or listening to the radio at all. A lot of things going on. The government thinks that we are in a little bit of a bind here because of the coronavirus. So what are they doing? They're shutting down schools. They're talking about closing businesses like restaurants to drive-through only, things like that, to keep it from spreading. And I think they're being very aggressive with this, and I think that's a good thing. Now, what it's doing, the effect is, Rich, is it's scaring people. That's really what it is.
It is.
And I don't think at this point we need to be scared. The last I saw, as of yesterday, there were 13 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Indiana.
4 more today.
Are there 4 more today?
Yeah, okay. There's 4 more today.
And
none in Lake or Porter County.
Okay. And, they're talking about bringing out these testing kits now, getting more people tested. So what's probably going to happen is we're going to see that number go up.
Yep.
Not necessarily because there's more cases of it. It's just we know now that there's more cases of it because people are being tested. Now, mind you, this has been going on for a while. So it's possible that back in November or December, you had coronavirus, you had this type of flu, and that you just didn't know it because...
Not a flu virus.
The flu symptoms,
yeah.
The respiratory symptoms, the fever, things like that. You may have had it and you just didn't know about it. And that's part of the thing. So, again, it's been around for a little while, but they're talking about how lethal it is. So far, nobody in the state of Indiana has passed away. I think Washington State was one of the biggest ones, and it was because they got into a nursing home. So you have people that are older that have immunocompromised problems, and that's what caused it. So I don't want you to start freaking out or thinking anything is crazy. Okay, I had a purchase offer come in this morning. I had 2 applications come in over the weekend. So the real estate market is still moving forward. We're still doing okay. The housing market is doing well here in Northwest Indiana. Mortgage interest rates are still near their lowest they've ever been. Okay, they're not the lowest they've ever been, but you can't try to time the market. You can't try to time the bottom. Is it an opportunity to purchase? Yes. Is there an opportunity to refinance? Yes. Do we know what the future is going to bring? The immediate future? Not really, to be honest with you. But so far, I don't see anything that looks terrible. What we need to do is we need to think about the whole self-isolation thing. Let's try to keep the spread of this down by being smart. Rich has got his handheld sanitizer.
What?
I have mine. I win. Mine's bigger.
But every time I show a client's house, I give them one of these each day. That way they can sanitize, and we go see houses smartly.
Great.
So,
and I think honestly that the government is doing the best they can with what they have because there are a lot of unknowns out there. So how does that affect us? How does that affect the housing here? Honestly, some of this is just it's going to have to play out. We're not 100% sure. But as of right now, things still look really good. They really do.
Yeah.
What I would ask of you is that you be patient. If you're looking to buy a home, looking to refinance, that you be patient. There's a lot of things that are going on in the back end in the mortgage industry right now that are causing a lot of sleepless nights for loan originators, for processors, and for underwriters, because there's such a huge volume right now. And part of the issue what's going on right now, why rates have come up from their all-time lows,
They are.
is just because it's a liquidity thing. There's not enough money to lend out there. And the banks, when they're borrowing from other banks, didn't have the money to lend. So you've got a lot of folks who have loans in the system but haven't closed yet, that have tied up those available funds.
Yep.
And back in 2007, 2008, when we had the housing crisis and a recession that was caused by the housing crisis. Now,
totally different issue.
Right. By the way, are we headed towards a recession?
No.
We're headed there. We are. We're headed there. We're not there, and we may not get there.
No.
But we're headed in that direction, and that's what the government's trying to do. Is they're trying to stave this off. I heard somebody say the other day, like, this 0% interest rate is completely crazy. It's never happened before. Actually, we had a 0% Fed funds rate from 2008 to 2016. They called it quantitative easing, and the government's getting back into that now, where they're going to be buying these mortgage loans. Yes. Instead of the banks worrying about where they're going to sell them to and how to come up with the money. The government says, you know what, sell them to us, we'll buy them. That's going to free some things up, so it's going to help us out. But we're probably not going to see that immediately. Now, that said, again, we don't want to try to time the bottom of the market. Is it a good time to buy? Heck yeah. Are rates low? Yes. Mm-hmm. Is it a good time to refinance? Yes. If you have some equity in your property and you want to try to pull some cash out to pay off higher interest rate credit cards, auto loans, things like that, or maybe just have some cash put away at the side in case for some reason something happens where you have that sort of nest egg. If you don't have it in the bank, now might not be a bad time, to be honest with you. It just depends on what your current interest rate is, how much equity you have in there, something that we can certainly go over with you. But Rich, to kind of sum things up a little bit, I don't think we're in a horrible time. No. I think a lot of what we're seeing out there doesn't make sense. The whole, I took my son shopping the other day on Saturday, and we couldn't find any toilet paper anywhere. Now,
that's interesting.
I went Thursday and stocked up, by the way. But
by the way, if you put in an offer with me, I don't know, maybe there'll be some toilet paper as a closing gift or something. I don't know. It seems to be more valuable than gold right now. I'm just trying to make a joke here.
It is.
One thing that Scott and I are both good at is trying to find good in everything and trying to find the lighter side of everything. And honestly, when it's all said and done, I think we're going to be able to look back at this toilet paper issue and have a good laugh at it. So, but
I'm laughing about it now.
Yeah,
it really is, because I think it's folks have just, what happens when you're confronted with either logic or emotions. Almost every time emotions take over.
Exactly.
So somebody said, you know what, we better start stocking up on toilet paper. And then someone else said, wow, they're stocking up on toilet paper. Maybe they know something we don't, so we better go buy out Costco. And that's what's happening. Is it rational? Not really, to be honest with you. It's really not. But it just tells you that we are in a position where people are starting to panic. They're getting emotional as opposed to logical. And these are things that happen. So we want to kind of be that voice of reason for you, let you know what's going on within the market. Again, am I having sleepless nights, and other lenders that I know kind of having some sleepless nights with everything that's going on? Absolutely. And the reason
that's just a normal night, though, for you.
Yeah. But honestly, the reason for that is that there's a lot of things that are outside our control.
Yes.
And we work so hard to help our clients. And it's tough because we're always looking for those ways to get maybe a little bit of an edge to help them out. I'm not very good at saying I had nothing to do with this. It's not my problem, because if it has to do with mortgage lending, it becomes my problem because I'm trying to do what's best for my clients. Now, are rates still fairly low? They are. Do we expect rates once everything sort of stabilizes here to go down a little bit? We do. But is now the time to go, well, I think I'm going to wait a week or 2 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks to buy. It's not gonna help you necessarily that much. And if you find a house you like, now's a good time to do it.
Because nobody else is looking at it. We're in the spring market, and buyers are being scared off by being in public now. So it's a great time to buy a house that would have normally 2, 3 offers on it, and you may be the only offer now. And that's not a bad thing right now. Over the weekend I had appointments with 3 different buyers, all seeing an opportunity to get the house that they want. And things aren't changing. It's just you just got to be a little bit more cautious and get back to the basics, and having hand sanitizer and making sure that you're always clean and is one of them. And if you do that, well, showing houses, there's no risk, because honestly, if I feel down at all with my health at all, I'm gonna call my clients and say, you know what, I'm not feeling well. Maybe today's not the best day, or I'll try to find somebody on my team to show you, even though that's not ideal. Either options, but I would rather protect my clients, not just in the transaction, but in your health also at this point. So
absolutely. And no, that's sinus drainage. Sorry.
He's had that forever.
For months, literally for months. Yeah. If you've been watching these videos, you see me coughing a little bit because of that. So, Again, really long story short, it sort of is what it is. It's going to play out, but we do have a little bit of position or power to show how it plays out.
Yes.
They're worried about the coronavirus, so let's voluntarily do the whole self-isolation thing. My younger son's home for at least a month. My older son's home for at least 6 weeks. It sounds like my wife may be home for up to 2 weeks. I'll be working at the office a lot.
We all would be.
Sorry, yeah.
But his office is isolated because he's the only one in his office. So
exactly. And it's kind of, I'll be honest with you. The last time that the 4 of us were home together for a couple weeks at the same time doesn't happen a lot. So it's gonna take a little bit getting used to. Usually when my wife has vacation, they go somewhere, and it's a great benefit for them. So it's going to be a little bit unusual, but it's going to get a little bit closer. I saw somebody post something the other day, said there's no sports on TV, and there's a lady sitting on my couch. Said she's my wife. She seems really nice.
I think that was me.
Exactly.
So, and her favorite color is yellow.
It's like yellow. Yeah, I didn't know that. So again, let's just keep moving forward. Let's be positive about this, and just understand that we are doing everything we can for you, Rich and I, and the folks in our industry. If you hear people, realtors or lenders that are saying, well, interest rates are at 0, so come, use me to buy your house because it's free money. It's not the truth.
It's time to find somebody else to help you.
You want somebody who understands what's going on. And while it sounds really good, it would be great if I could give out 0% loans, because trust me, I would never sleep. I wouldn't have time. We'd have that many applications.
Yeah.
Things are going to slow down a little bit as this whole thing works itself out a little bit as far as time-wise. So if you see a house you like, Rich has always said, hey, Scott can close in 21 days. Not going to happen. I can tell you it's not going to happen just because of the volume out there. So we want to extend that a little bit. Let's be realistic. If you want to refinance, let's give it some time. Purchases always come before refinances because they have dates on them. So we can get you in for a refi, but it could take 45 days or so. Now, certainly if we can do it in less than that, we will. But I've also heard stories of borrowers going to some of the local loan officers, and folks that I network with know. One of them said, well, I'm going to go to this big bank because they can give me this rate and they'll close me in 30 days. And then 4 days later, the borrower comes back and says, yeah, I want to go with you because they told me I couldn't have that rate because it wasn't locked, and it's going to take them 70 days to close. So just understand who you're dealing with. Make sure that the folks know what they're talking about. What they're not making promises they can't keep.
Yep.
So I would rather, you know me, right?
Yep.
I like surprises, kind of like birthday parties, as opposed to Rich is going, yeah, I know, tax audits.
Yep.
But good surprises are good. So if we say it's going to be 45 days, we can close you in 35. That's awesome.
Exactly.
But I would rather, again, make under promise and over deliver, because I would rather close in 35 days if I told you 45 than close in 45 days if I told you 35.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want to end this on the Facebook live stream of this. I'm not seeing any comments. So if anybody's having comments or liking or anything, we're not seeing it. Facebook is trying out a new feature with me, and it's not working too well at this point. So feel free to direct message them to me, DM me, and I'll see them, and we'll answer your questions anytime. But yeah, right now I'm not seeing anything. I know there's people watching because my watch is alerting me that people are watching it, but I'm not seeing it on the screen. So
Yeah.
I apologize if you guys are saying stuff and we're not seeing it. It's not our fault.
And we're doing some wacky things here, actually. We've got 3 cameras running.
Yeah.
So Rich is live on his feed. I'm live on my feed with a camera. Rich is using the camera on my computer, and he's also recording this too. So we'll have it there if someone needs to watch it later on.
Yep.
Too. So again, because we thought it was that important that we be able to get this information out to you and let you know what was going on. So again,
we are open for business.
We will be open for business. We can work out of our homes if we need to.
Yep. And I'm planning on it because hey, I get an excuse to stay home and work and be with my wife. Hi, Kim.
But we are. Yeah, sorry, Kim. No, I'm just kidding. But we are going to stay on top of this for you. We are still going to be here. We're going to do everything we can for you, and in fact, maybe even a little bit more than we have in the past, because things are changing so quickly. So you may see a mortgage tip Wednesday. Who knows? Okay, but as things continue to change, we're going to keep you updated to the best of our ability and let you know what we would do as professionals in mortgage and real estate. We're going to let you know what we would do and how we would handle the situations.
And just remember, no news is good news. So if we don't come to you on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday or whatever, Saturday, that means nothing's changed. We're still open for business. Things are going as normal as possible. And Mike, I sprayed him down. We just got that comment in, so we got one in. So yeah, we were having a disinfectant fight earlier. So
there's some social distancing here. We're actually a little bit farther apart than it looks on the camera.
Are we?
We are.
Okay, so as you can see, we're still in good moods because business is still going great. And Tim, text me anywhere. We'll go out. Hey, we're starting to see messages. They're popping up now. Awesome.
Yeah, Tim, I would recommend the drive-through somewhere, and you guys can sit in a parking lot and eat.
Yeah, when is that Indiana ban on sit-downs happening?
I think it's coming up in a couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there was lots of places to eat lunch. In fact, I took my younger son to Taco Bell yesterday here in Winfield. They had a big sign on the door. It said drive-through only.
Yep.
So
I know Chick-fil-A is drive-through only right now. Let's see. Let's speak of some good news. Some good that's going on in the community. I want to give a shout out to Joe Sassman in Crown Point and Sunday Fun Day here in Winfield. They are giving away free lunches to kids that are not in school right now. So if you're 18 and under, you can go. I think Sunday Fun Day is doing a hot dog lunch or whatnot for you. So you just got to be under 18 and you get a free lunch. So if you're in need of food, and feel free to go there. Please support our local businesses. You know how hard it was to go out, find bread and whatnot? I decided to think outside the box and do this. Go out and support our small businesses. We went to I'm losing Harvest Time or whatever in
Crown Point.
Crown Point there. Yeah, I went in there. They had tons of white bread there. So guess what? I got some bread. It's delicious, by the way.
And it freezes well.
Yeah, it freezes well. So if you're worried about not being able to find bread, go support some of our small businesses around here. They've been doing a great thing. We went Epic Popcorn there. Got some popcorn. Got lunch out and some donuts. We just went down the square supporting our local businesses because if they're forced to shut down, that's going to really hurt them. We went out to eat last night and made sure to leave a good tip for some great service. So because that server's going to be hurting potentially in a little bit. So if she can't serve food in a dining room, that's going to be. So I want to make sure we are supporting our small businesses and our hourly workers as much as possible. So, in fact, after this, I'm going to go out to eat and go support some other small businesses. So,
Nice. Yeah, giving Rich a little bit of credit on his timeline this morning, he posted something asking about if you knew of other places that are providing meals and things. I know a bunch of the schools are. For those kids that are on like free or reduced lunch, a lot of the school programs are saying that you can go pick up food for them. Because this would be a little bit of a hardship for some of these kids that are normally in school, are normally getting lunch there, free lunches, and now what do they do at their home? It could be a little bit of a financial issue for parents. So the schools are kicking in. Now, I know, for instance, Hebron is doing that. It is not during their break, which is next week, but this week, and then I believe the 2 weeks after that, because I think they're off for 4 weeks.
Yep.
They will be doing that, and I know a lot of other school systems, Valparaiso,
School City of Hammond is doing it. So
exactly. So if you, and I think I shared that on my timeline also. So if you know of an organization who is doing that, who's helping provide free lunches for the kids, put it on Rich's timeline or my timeline, and let's share it with everybody.
Exactly.
You know what I am seeing, Rich, though, and the really good thing about this, though, and I know we're getting really long on this, but what I'm seeing, what's really good about this, though, is I'm seeing so much of the community come together. Yeah, there's a couple of people that bought 800 rolls of toilet paper and are hoarding it. But Amazon also shut one of those guys down who had what he said, 17,000 rolls of toilet paper or something. They told me he couldn't sell anymore because he was price gouging. But just seeing what the local communities are putting together, I saw several people post. It was the same exact post. They copied and pasted it and said, if you know of children or you know of the elderly or people who are shut in who are not getting access to food or to toilet paper, the things that they need, call them. And they would go to the store and get it for them and drop it off if they didn't want to risk going out there. And I think that's awesome. I'm seeing the community come together so much for this.
Exactly.
Very impressed. And it really, I mean, honestly, it's like my son would say, man, it gets me right in the feels. But I think it's an awesome thing. And I really appreciate what all of you are doing.
Yeah, and the companies, the restaurants that I did mention that are doing things, with them closing down the insides of these places, they're going to be losing a lot of money, and they're still continuing to do this through their drive-through. That says something about the character of the owners and the company philosophy that they have going, and I love it. If you're stuck in a long line at the grocery store, Sam's Club, Costco, whatever, make the best of it. Make a friend behind you and in front of you. We're all in it together.
Make sure you got your hand sanitizer and do your social distancing. But yes, talk to people. Let them know what's going on. Now is not the time to be cutting in line at the meat counter and things like that. It's the time to know that we're all in this together. We are going to get through it. It's going to be okay. We're good. When we come out the other end of this, as far as the real estate and mortgage industry, it's still going to be there.
Yes.
We're still in a hot area. Other parts of the country may see some issues, but Northwest Indiana here, we're doing really well. We'll continue to do really well, and mortgage rates are going to stay low. One of the what do I want to call them? It's one of the sages within the financial industry has predicted that rates are going to stay low. He said, we may never in our lifetimes see an interest rate that starts with a 6 or any higher. And that's pretty phenomenal if you think about it.
Especially when you go back to the 80s and whatnot, and how high those were.
Early 80s when they had 18 to 21% interest rates. Exactly.
It's higher than my credit cards. Jeez.
Yeah. So this is all going to work out, folks. We just gotta stay in this and work with each other. And we're here to help.
And you know what? Just amuse me. If you want a list of homes for sale in your area or your target area, even if you're not looking to buy or sell, if you just want to look at homes, online and whatnot, email me or message me your email, and I'll set you up with a home search, and you can see all the homes on the MLS, and just have fun while you're stuck at home with your kids. Dream about your dream house. So get some ideas for your current house. Maybe this is a good time to grab some paint and paint around your house if you're stuck there, and just clean up your house, put some equity in it. I'm hoping the weather gets a little bit warmer so I can do some landscaping around the house and whatnot. So just make the best of it. So that's what I'm planning on doing.
I think it's a great idea. Mm-hmm. And, as far
especially with your 2 kids home.
Oh, yeah.
You got some free labor there.
Put them to work. Yeah, well, it's free, all right. Remember that conversation we had about you get what you pay for?
Yeah, sure.
They're good kids. They really are. When I remember what they look like, because I hardly see them anymore. But what Rich said is very true. If you're going to be home, if you're home with your children, or you're home because work got canceled, like my wife will be, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now is a really good time to think about where you're going to be in 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, as far as interest rate wise, things like that. If you think you might have a few issues on your credit, let's start working on that right now. Mm-hmm. Even if now is not the best time for you, let's take a little bit of time, because we're pretty sure the rates are still going to be good when we come out of this too. Oh, and so now is an awesome time to just get prepared to make that purchase. And like Rich said, if you're thinking about selling, start working on some of those things that you can do to get your house in a little bit better shape, so that you get the highest offer you can.
Now, if you are being affected financially in a negative way by this coronavirus, credit card companies are putting out their programs where they basically defer a month, basically where it's like no more interest, nothing, like let's get back on our feet type thing, as a nation type thing. I've gotten emails from a couple of my credit cards and banks and whatnot, just saying that, hey, just let us know if you're affected by this, and we'll work with you on the payments. It's basically puts a freeze on everything, and forget that March happened, and we start back up in April. So there are companies willing to work with you on that. They're always willing to work with you. You just got to start the conversation. So I know it's hard to go out there and say, oh man, I don't want to say that I've been affected by the coronavirus and I have no money now, blah, blah, blah. Talk to your company, talk to your loan company. They want to work with you because they don't want to have what's called bad debt where it's not going to be paid back.
Absolutely. So, and Rich, I don't know. I know there's a bill in the Senate, in Congress, that they're looking at, and I don't have a lot of the details on that, because I've been more focused towards what's going on with the interest rates and things. But from my understanding is they are looking at waiving like the interest on some of the student loans, so that they don't continue to build up. They are talking about extending unemployment, that if you're off, they're thinking about additional paid sick days, or if for some reason you're home with your younger children and you don't have anybody that can watch them, that you could get reimbursed for that. And again, I don't know all the details, but just hearing
this is all unprecedented stuff that's never happened before, just like this situation. So
right, but
all the details are still murky.
Hearing that there's that discussion there, that they want to take this action to help everybody out. Once again, I think that's a positive thing. It's a good step. Again, I don't have details, but it shows the government really does care. And I don't care about your political opinions. If you're Democrat, Republican,
it has support from all sides.
Liberal.
How about that?
because it is a bipartisan effort.
Yes.
That they understand that we are in an unprecedented time, and it will take some action for it.
Exactly.
So again, just keep doing what you're doing. Let's keep moving forward. We're all going to be okay.
So, and I think that's a good spot to end on. If anybody has any questions, comments, feel free to reach out to us anytime. He's tagged in my Facebook Live, or you can message him on his Facebook Live, which we haven't been monitoring either. So we'll get back to anybody that's been talking to you there. Other than that, I'm Rich Sassman with Century 21. This is Scott Swifford with Hancock Mortgage, and see everybody next week.
See you, folks. Take care.
Take care. And live.